Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This is the market update you need to see because the big question is, will crypto recover? Will crypto recover? I'm going to answer that question. I am going to have effectively kind of a bonus altcoin overtime where I'm going to use PowerPoint to go through a whole range of altcoins. So we're going to do Bitcoin. We're going to do Ethereum. I'm going to tell you where I think it's going to recover and when. We're also going to talk legacy because serious stuff is happening that you need to know about, as well as the news. All right, let's see who we got here. We have Rave Song Records, okay, thinking about selling some of his position, right? But he didn't sell. But that's okay. That's okay because you're never too early. You're never too late. You're right on time. What you got to do is you got to adjust your head and then adjust your portfolio, right? So if you missed it or if you didn't do it, don't worry about it. That was yesterday. This is a scene from a movie from the guy featured in the movie is Marcus Luttrell, okay? And it's about Navy SEALs. And they're fighting the bad guys. 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 And one guy goes, he's like, oh, man, I think I got a bullet in the base of my skull. And the guy next to him, the main character in the movie, goes, there you go again, Mikey, living in the past. I'm going to straighten you out. Don't worry. Okay, Miro is here. Robin, Sleazy Mink's in the house. What's up? Okay, Rudy Roo, Rugby Performance Lab, Reverend Flashback, Luis, AZ, Euro Rack. What's up? News now. There's something out there and it ain't no man. This is something we came up with last year. There's something wrong with the banks. There's something wrong in treasury bonds. There may be a risk management blow up at the institutional level. There's also problems with credit card companies, and the consumer is about to crack. Remember this whole thing about the recession and all this stuff? Yeah, it may be happening, and it's going to affect crypto first, which kind of already happened. Then it's going to spill over into legacy, and I think that's going to be a hint or the chance to buy crypto. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to have the charts. No, Elon Musk SpaceX isn't the cause of the multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin bloodbath. You know, it's always amazed me how Elon Musk can keep himself in the headline when he's not even trying. Oh, Bitcoin went up. Oh, that's Elon. Oh, Bitcoin went down. Oh, that's Elon. Elon smoked a blunt. Elon made a comment. The guy's a genius. Like, the Bitcoin blow up was Elon? Oh, please. And then there's this whole thing like Vitalik sent $1 million in Ethereum to Coinbase. I mean, do you really think Vitalik sits down and is like, yeah, let me just send 600 ETH to Coinbase from my personal wallet? You know, I don't know. Don't you think somebody probably manages that for him? I don't know. It's almost like they're trying to scare the market lower, right? Okay, so Bitcoin and bonds reached the strongest inverse correlation, okay? So Bitcoin and U.S. inflation-adjusted bonds are moving in opposite directions. So in other words, you know, Bitcoin is moving down, all right, as the bond market crushes inflation. That's what's really happening. Now, this article is probably getting into the weeds of finance. I do that enough to you guys. I'm not going to do it again, right? In other words, if the inflation rate is 4%, bonds are going beyond 4% in their yield, all right? Now, that can help Bitcoin. That can hurt it. We'll talk about it. Okay, so here's Vitalik announcing to everyone that he's bearish on the market. I know $1 million is a lot to me and you, but it probably isn't to Vitalik. Okay, everyone is like, oh my God, the sky is falling. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. There are whales, which could include the Ethereum Foundation, sitting below this market waiting to just hoover it all up. Oh, I'm bearish. Oh, I'm bearish. Oh, I'm bearish. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Whatever. BlackRock, all these big players, and the Fed itself. I think the Fed could be acting through all these places. Why do you think everybody all of a sudden said we need a Bitcoin ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF? right? The Fed gets it on its balance sheet by having the national banks get it on their balance sheet. Pretty simple, right? Okay, Vitalik is not bearish. And even if he did have to raise liquidity, so what? The guy's entitled to eat. He only invented Web3. XRP ruling needs appeals court review. You know what the call on this was? Toby. Toby was like, XRP, great, but people are going to be disappointed. And we did some work recently on XRP where these people are going to lose sleep. And we love XRP and we thank them for supporting unhinged crypto. Okay, so the question in XRP is, if people start giving up, right? If people freak out and lose it, where can you scoop up XRP? Could it be 50 cents? Could it be something crazy like 35 cents? In other words, could this be a double flash crash in crypto because of what's going on with equities? FD White, welcome. You are definitely not too late. You are right on time. Okay, Laughing Dolphin is feeling the pain. Yes, I share the feeling, and Raj is here. Okay, but the thing is, okay, barring a total calamity in legacy, and even with a total calamity in legacy, I would expect some sort of base in crypto over the next 4 days. Alts and Bitcoin, okay, and ETH. Altcoins, you may have to be careful, but the way I'm looking at it is I'm actually looking to get long. Okay, I raised some cash personally before it was get to the chopper, right? I didn't sell enough. I kept some in ETH. And then I'm just going to sit there and wait for him to have him sell it to me at a good price. Friend.tech generates $1 million in fees. I got to get on this, right? For everybody who thinks Web3 is dead, but it's not. It's so not, right? This could be the next Facebook in some way, right? Where you get to keep the money and not the guys at the top, right? Most fear since Silicon Valley collapse. 5 things you need to know in Bitcoin this week. The Bitcoin order book is a ghost town after the margin leverage babies got liquidated. Nothing like a good stop fishing exercise. Bitcoin traders weigh consolidation scenario. So you range trade for a while, you break down, and what does everybody think? Oh, it's going to go back to a range. I got a better idea. What happens if there's a final flush, it goes sideways and then goes straight back up again? When everyone expects a trend, it's a range. When everyone expects a range, it's a trend. Tito, Crypto Clan, what's up? Thanks for joining in. Kenneth, what's happening? Let's see what else we got here. That's wrong. Key timing for Powell's Jackson Hole speech. So for those of you who don't know, it's actually been one of the biggest Fed meetings that they have. It's not a meeting. It's just like, central bankers hang out in the mountains and, I don't know what central bankers do. Talk about economics, but, I remember when Bernanke was in power, and he basically came out at Jackson Hole and said, we're never going to stop QE ever. Perma QE. The market went completely ballistic. Lloyd said he would invest in me on Friend.tech. Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to look into it. Now, what's Powell going to say at Jackson Hole? Well, he's going to say, well, we don't like inflation. But if Powell ever had a chance to acknowledge risks in the system, now would be that time. Right now, if Powell comes out and just talks super tough, he's going to exacerbate an existing bond market debacle. Like, God, I had a ZB target. That's long bonds, right? Rates up, interest rates up, bonds, ZB down. God, I was like, hey, maybe the target's 118. Now it's like 116 in ZB. Huh. Kenneth says peace, quiet, and freedom in South Dakota. Yes. Don't take your freedom for granted. Powell talks tough. He's basically igniting a banking system blow up. If Powell is neutral or doesn't say anything, right? Anything meaning anything new. He may be acknowledging risks in the system. Believe me, I got some charts that show risks in the system. On-chain losses mount as speculators feel the pressure. Short-term hodlers are all long at 28K per Glassnode. So right here, I think, right, ASOPR, Glassnode's got all these cool metrics that only Glassnode understands. That's a joke, right? It's cool. I used it. Okay. They understand it better than we do, I think. Familiar fear. So are we at extreme fear? Probably not yet, because we haven't seen the convulsion in legacy. However, again, because crypto went first, and there are tons of reasons to buy crypto and gold, we are going to talk about that. China proposes to bring its social credit score system to the metaverse, reminding me of a famous bumper sticker: communism only killed 50 million people. Let's give it another chance. These guys are going to take over everything with this social credit score thing. And if we can't get regime change in the United States, we're going to have it too. By the way, Richmond, north of Richmond, my guy, Oliver, that I said sang the national anthem of crypto. Supposedly a record company offered him $8 million and he told them to get bent. That's strong. Now, meme coins, PEPE, SHIB, Plummet, more than 20% over the week. Okay. Now, let's talk about meme coins. I'm hearing rumors that, you can do something where you can buy a meme coin like, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, Inu. You can buy it, and then you can put that up as collateral and buy more and buy more and buy more. Now, Shibarium had problems. You got to be really careful in highly speculative things when Thanos, aka ZB, aka the bond market, is falling apart. Goldman Sachs' stock is falling apart. Goldman Sachs' stock is falling apart. Well, you're going to have problems with the most highly speculative components of crypto. Don't get wrecked. If you have to make position adjustments, make them. What are you going to lose? If you have to get back in, $20 in gas? Come on, right? Let's think clearly. So NFT platforms recur to shut down despite raising money. So the NFT market is a total wasteland. No one wants NFTs, right? It's all going to zero, right? Yeah, exactly. That's why me and an artist named Toby Ward will be entering. It's more Toby's art and me telling you about it. Let me tell you something about Toby. This Mid-Journey thing, the machine now has a soul, thanks to her. So as NFTs go to zero, everyone exits the market. I am getting in. Just figure out what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. I say that, so does Toby. That sounds like a future tweet coming up. Gemini pushes to get SEC case dismissed. But you know what? Coinbase gets all the headlines of banned. And I'm not a big fan of these guys personally, but man, you got to admire the Winklevoss twins for keeping their fists up, right? Like the thumbnail for the show, and just giving these guys the business. They're just like, yeah, we're not Coinbase, but we're going to fight anyway. We're going to fight anyway. This is unbelievable. Token founder loses $250,000 because somebody called him up and pretended to be crypto.com. So many bad guys, so little time. Okay. All the influencers say be careful, and this stuff happens anyway. When I see this, I know you lost money last week. Everybody lost money, but maybe you can look at this and be grateful for what you have, because this guy is relying on the FBI to get his money back. Good Lord. Okay, so as if the news in NFTs could get any worse, Mark Cuban and Yuga Labs are leading a backlash because OpenSea apparently doesn't want to or can't enforce an NFT royalty charge. Now, I haven't gotten into the weeds of this, but God, this looks like NFT stress. I can remember when it was like, I was at NFT LA, I don't know, it was 2022, maybe 2021. Oh my God, the carnage in this market, the carnage, right? Art and stocks are not correlated. Where do you see the stock charts? So no one wants art. Everybody wants stocks, and they move in opposite directions. Okay, yeah, a lot of NFTs are not art, right? A Bored Ape is considered blue chip. Maybe not. I don't know if it's art or not. Toby has an opinion on stuff like that. You can tune in to one of our episodes. We have Crypto Happy Hour on Friday. We didn't have it this Friday because the market was blowing up. So we were doing, maybe people weren't in the mood for happy hour. Maybe they were, and we missed it. Regulatory landscape prompts KYC. Everybody's going to do KYC. And, we always say it's a good thing to try to keep the bad people out of crypto as long as it doesn't turn into your crypto social credit score. Right. I was a big fan of doing KYC and keeping it all above board. And now I'm like, oh my God, are they going to use that? Are they going to use it against us? Okay. $158 million for layer 1 blockchains and metaverse creation. You know what, folks? Layer 1s, metaverse, they're going to happen. Right. There's going to be a whole new wave of layer 1s in metaverse. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay. Right. Silas is saying, his US UPST is recovering. BLZ going crazy. Richard Barry is here. Welcome. Tina Lee, what's up? Reminding you to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Right. I really don't have to shout. I do it when I'm wearing the headphones. Subscribe to the channel. The market is moving. Moving. The UAE wants to be a big global crypto hub. My God, did you see BitBoy is moving BitBoy Inc. to the Middle East? Holy guacamole. My number one rule for crypto is never put more money in than you're willing to burn in a fire. Well, everyone says that, but we all know that I guess we have a little bit more in crypto than we're willing to burn in a fire. Which is why you watch the market update, because if you didn't care if it burned up, you wouldn't care. But people do care, and I got news for you. The number one rule in crypto is to have alternative forms of money and understand alternative forms of money for when the time comes. When's the time? Now. Don't go anywhere because I got it in the PowerPoint. What does the Dow Industrials, Goldman Sachs, Capital One, and Nike have in common? And how does that connect to crypto? I'm going to tell you because you need to know. Don't go anywhere. Ruh-roh. Bond bulls at JP Morgan and Alliance double down on a bet gone bad. Somebody has a P&L problem in bonds. Somebody has to hedge. And hedges are something that little doggies pee on. That saying refers to the fact that most hedging occurs when it's too late. The U.S. bond market is falling apart. That's why crypto is getting smacked. The long bond is Thanos. When bonds on the long term, when long-term bonds go down and rates go up, when ZB on your trading view goes down, everything gets wrecked. Everything. So not only is the U.S. government debt losing credibility, but we have big institutions at Wall Street who are on the wrong side of the trade. Joy, right? But in crypto, we're going to be looking to take advantage of their pain. Borrowers with $39 billion in student loans finally see relief. Well, I'm sure there are people who had to pay for their college educations are not happy about this. Okay. However, the simple fact of the matter is I actually saw a tweet today. I saw a tweet. And Wendy O had a great response to it. About a single dad with 3 kids. Let's just say he experienced extreme emotional distress. Let's put it that way. Enough to get him on Twitter. Now, I know that this plan is for 800,000 borrowers, and probably 800,000, all 800,000 of them may not deserve what the government gave them, but I don't know. Maybe it helps somebody out there, and we all need a little help. I'm totally aware of what the counter argument for that is, but you know, maybe with the crypto market down, maybe we can be a little bit more merciful today. The Dawn. Any thoughts on the miners after this huge markdown? Don't let me forget to chart it. I do like this. I do like substantial corrections. I do like the idea of a Bitcoin bottom. Silas wants to know how low Bitcoin could go. I think the lowest I think that's reasonable is 23K, right? They're going to run, you know, that's the double flash cash crate. That's the double flash crash price. Wrong again says, I hope my kid gets some of that relief. I hope so for my kid too. Okay. Bart is here and he is right on time. Bullish on parade. Luis, pancakes and peanut butter. What's up? Toby's favorite YouTube handle right there. Okay, people. PowerPoint, altcoin overtime, LFG, NFA. Non-investment advice. Friday nights, we will be doing altcoin overtime as crypto happy hour. Make sure you are subscribed to Unhinged Crypto on YouTube. So we're going to have a conversational, GAN-based, mystical-based conversations about altcoins and the ones that you may be interested in. So make sure you check that out. We are going to start having fun again. If anybody remembers crypto therapy and crypto happy hour from a previous career life, we're bringing it back in style, courtesy of Miss Toby. So as you can tell in the picture, right, the style is on the left and I am on the right wearing a deluxe bathrobe that I don't actually have. So we all know where the style comes from. Do not miss it. Now, let's talk about your dad's stocks. Okay, Andre, got Litecoin for you, bro. All set up in the deck. Okay, here's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? Your grandpa's stocks. You know, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil, boring, but big. Now, you take out resistance. You do this for like a month. You push out all the shorts, and then you go back below resistance today. Like everyone's running into technology stocks because after all, you know, we're all safe in overvalued technology stocks. Oh, God, whatever. I mean, they're never not smoking the hope hookah in equities. Okay, this chart looks terrible. And the biggest risk to crypto is that you just wake up one day and this whole thing, this whole stock market thing's down 20%. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's just not good. Now, Goldman, holy cow. So here's what we know about Goldman. They got a problem with a couple of their business units, and their CEO is wildly unpopular internally, right? Of course, how can he be? I served under the old guy, Lloyd Blankfein. And let me tell you something, man. Lloyd went to work every day with a crappy leather briefcase, and he worked his ass off through 2008, through everything. Like we would have run through a wall for Lloyd. So it's a tough act to follow. But there's something wrong with this, right? Because they would blow into this. Looks like just like the Dow chart, right? They blow through resistance. Everybody thinks everything is okay. And the second it turned around, it fell apart. Now it's broken through a hidden pivot level at 323, and this may wind up at 284. So if you have Goldman going from 323 to 284, what's going to happen to Capital One, Discover? What's going to happen to all these credit card companies? They're going to get killed. Quarter Crawler is here. What's up? Wrong Again's looking at 1575 in ETH. You know, my scary point is now at 1300. I hope it doesn't come to that. But I'm waiting for him to sell it to me at a good price, because you could have a flash crash in things like banks. Look at Capital One. I mean, if Goldman is cracking, what happens to this? Same deal, right? Key technical point here, bounce up, take out the resistance, looks like $1 million. Nice 5-wave structure, top, break back below. Huge false breakout. Everybody who's bought Capital One since May is now in the water. This is why, right? This is why everyone's afraid. Now, back to our show, back to crypto. So gold goes straight down, right? Now, why did gold go straight down? Well, probably because you had selling in China to raise capital. And this could also be why Goldman is down, because there could be exposure. The problem may not be that Chinese banks blow up. It could be that our banks blow up because we have exposure to what's going on over there. That and, you know, the consumer credit card thing is going to get nuked. So I'm sitting here looking at gold, and this is like basically down only with a stop fishing exercise. And there's little green candles popping up here. And I'm like, that sort of looks interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? They kill this thing. Equity markets are crashing. And unless the Chinese are going to sell this down to zero, I'm kind of interested in this. Speaking of kind of interesting, look at GLD in the equity market. Now, this chart looks terrible. They're below a DeMark resistance point, and every time they open the market, they sell it. So Americans are selling gold. No surprise. That's how they keep it down. But man, you got 4 red candles just below this support point, or now resistance point. What happens if you wake up one day and this is just a big trap, like the trap on the upside in Capital One and the Dow and Goldman? Oh my God. This is gonna go ballistic. It's gonna go ballistic. Nike forgot to cover this. Ruh-roh. The U.S. consumer, Capital One, Discover, and now Nike. You realize if Nike cracks 102, you could be at 89. Why is Nike relevant? The future of money. Future of money. How is Nike going to get anybody to buy shoes if they don't buy crypto? Or you just have it, you know, an economy cratering. The Fed has to back off, right? I mean, if Nike goes down $10 or $15 a share, I think that's positive crypto once the vomiting and dry heaving ends. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. This is the 4-hour chart. So you have a 13 bottom. Okay. I will look at DXY. Okay. Somebody wanted me to look at something else, and I already forgot what it is. Shame on me. Okay. Bitcoin, 13 bottom. Okay. You may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may have up to 2 days of down action before Bitcoin stabilizes. I'm viewing this as the bigger the base, the higher in the space. The worst case scenario is they go stop fishing below this single print. So they can flash crash this again, unfortunately, which makes life difficult. Okay. I say wait a couple days. If legacy heaves and Bitcoin holds, then Bitcoin is going up. I have stuff that I'm going to use behind a paywall, but I'm going to show it to you guys anyway because I love you guys. Okay, speaking of that, here it is. So this is a pattern matching system. Okay, the orange line is Ethereum over the last 200 days. The blue line is a section from Ethereum's past. So you get a match to the current data, and then it shows you how it unfolded after that. Okay. So give me the last 200 days and give me the next 200 days. It's got an 85% match. So the match is actually holding. Sometimes these things can break down, particularly after a big move. But, you know, based on this, it's kind of done, right? You have a little bit of a base, and then you're going to go way up, and then you're going to go way back down, and then you're going to go way up. Everyone thinks it's a range. Guess what, people? It's not a range. Okay, yes, I said get involved, try to stay involved. We all got stopped out. I got that. But everyone's looking for like nothing. And I think when everyone's looking for nothing, you should be looking for something, right? I think this is the roadmap. Okay, down. Hopefully they're done. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Bitcoin on a 30-day basis. So I kind of like it when you get these short-term and long-term analogs, like kind of matching. Okay. Wrong again says Capital One looks horrible. Sydney wants Zcash. I'm going to cover it. They actually let you buy Zcash again at 23. And Toby liked Zcash over Monero, which I was surprised about. Stay tuned for that. Okay, Litecoin. Oh, you thought about it. You thought I forgot about you, right? Right. And Rudy wants Jasmy. Don't worry, bro. I will not forget that. I'm going to write it on my hand. Okay, Litecoin. So there's a 9 bottom. And there's one thing you have to know about a 9 bottom is that, you know, you got to be careful that you don't get a failed rally. When you have a 9 bottom, you would like to have a bottom. You don't want to have some grotesque failed rally. Now, if Litecoin comes back above 68, 63, that's a 62% retracement. That would be extremely constructive. Or you can just let them waste this thing, possibly below 60, and then grab it. I think it's really a matter of waiting like 2 or 3 days. That's all. You just wait to see if they're going to sell it to you at a good price. Because this and the NFTs and the ordinals and all the things you can do on Litecoin, I think this is a coin for like the next 3 months. The thing was at 115 and it's now at 65. Everyone loved it at 115 and now nobody wants it at 60. You know, just I'm taking it. I feel the same way about Zcash. Okay, value investing, dumpster diving, Algorand. Okay, they got a 93% match with a 100-day time frame. So the last 100 days of Algorand matches up with a prior bottom. May take 2 weeks, right? And of course, you're going to go all the way up and all the way back down again. But you know, I'm willing to start taking a chance on some of this stuff. Let them kill it. You know, I may get stopped out, but one of these times, you know, it's either like early September, right? Late August, early September for Bitcoin. Then you got to deal with the eclipse in October. Figuring out how to get long without getting wrecked if you're wrong is the science that we're after. XRP, the pain, the wailing, the gnashing of teeth, the running of stops below the legal euphoria settlement God candle. Oh my God, these poor people. Now, according to XRP, you could have 4 more down days, right? So you could wind up below 50 cents. And I guess in worst case scenario, you could have XRP at 35 cents. So it doesn't look like anything good is going to happen in XRP. That's the bad news. The good news is it may be 4 to 5 days away from ending. And it either ends at 50 cents or it ends at 35 cents. But, you know, I don't think I want to get long this right now, but, you know, this may be a long-term play. You may actually get to buy this below the legal settlement price. Now, Cardano, again, you have a 9 bottom and a failed rally. Eesh, right? I want to like this. I want to like this. But Cardano's got to compete with all these other layer ones. So unless they got something up their sleeve, you know, it looks like these retail specific coins are suffering right now. Let's just hope that, you know, Cardano kind of goes sideways for 3 days, because if this failed rally leads to this downside follow through, it's no bueno. But like I said, let's just see what happens over the next 3 days. I don't think there's a huge rush to buy Cardano. Now, One of the reasons I decided to go with this wait 2 or 3 days program is the fact that Solana broke 22, right? And then kind of failed on a retest. So I'm like, eesh. Now, I believe the stories that there are giant venture capital sellers out there who are going to panic and unload on stuff. But, you know, this is not a buy for at least 3 days until we see it. You know, you wait 3 days and then you see if you get a rally, or you wait 4 days and see if you get a bottom and then a failed rally. You do not want to see a failed rally in Solana. You don't. Not now, not in 3 days. But if Solana is above 2206, I'm going with it. It's like Toby's favorite. Cosmos. Okay, so Cosmos came back down today after 3 days of solid outperformance. Nothing outperforms forever, so it's not a surprise. Okay. Wrong again notes it seems like most coins are hitting their, 78 or 76% retracement. That's true. The problem is I don't like coins if they're not holding 62%, or at least until they get back above the 62%. What I think is happening, pure and simple, stop fishing. Look at this. Look at what they did to Cosmos, right? Cosmos had a 13 bottom up here, and then they washed it out. They washed it out for, like a half a month. They just washed it out. Everyone gave up, and it comes back. Now, they're probably selling it today, but the battle is at $7.73. And in my opinion, the question is, where do I get Cosmos? Either on a real sustained rally above $7.73, or you let them just kill it and flash crash it and then jump on it. Polkadot is a similar situation. Okay, now there's two ways to look at Polkadot, right? One of the things I learned very early in my career in Legacy is that triple bottoms don't hold. That was one of the first things I learned. Now, this is a borderline triple bottom. There's a 9 bottom in Polkadot. Okay, there was a 9 bottom down here, right? This is a 9 bottom in December, rally. 9 bottom. I hope Polkadot stabilizes over the next 3 days. I want to see this thing bottom. I mean, Polkadot at 4 something at the, 425, 450. That feels so cheap to me. Feels so cheap. Now, near, bad news. Can't get back above resistance, right? 3 more down days minimum. Good news is that this was a 5 wave with a 0, this final puke. Layer 1s are raising money in the VC sector. These big layer 1s, they may come back, right? They may not do what they did in the last cycle, but man, if they're just killing it, they're just killing this stuff. I mean, that could have been it in near, even if there is 3 to 4 more down days. That is absolute panic selling with DeMark work confirmation. Zcash, an outstanding stop fishing exercise below 2391, and then it recovers. Again, you're going to have 3 more down days, but in Zcash, this could have been the wave 1 up over here, and this could be the wave 2 down, only to give birth to the wave 3 up. You know what? They gave you a chance to get Zcash again at 25. I'd been talking about this last year. Just can't believe the privacy narrative isn't going to be worth something, particularly in the metaverse, particularly with the Chinese. I mean, what has to happen before people embrace privacy? Now, if there is an S coin that we're looking at, okay, we're looking at FAN. Meme coins, small coins related to sports and gambling. Yes, this stuff will get hammered, but it is making a square consolidation formation. So this is not investment advice, but that is a part of altcoin overtime. Okay, let's get into the charts. I do not want Rudy to explode about Jasmy, so let's just take a look and see what's going on there for my guy who's undoubtedly telling you to hit the like button, because you should be. Okay, so Jasmy. Okay, let's get a 4-hour chart going here. I have to share the screen. Okay. So speaking of stop fishing exercises, right? You know, you had this wick down and then they had a wick the wick. I don't know. I have a tough time hating stuff at these levels. I just do. Okay, so on the 4-hour chart, you're headed for a 9 bottom and a 13 bottom on any next big puke. So that should be encouraging. Now on the and all these coins are all like they're all like battle levels like Cosmos, right? So 3,400, Jasmy on the daily. That's going to be the point of contention. That's going to be where bulls and bears are going to fight it out, right? You have 3 crappy days and this thing recovers above this line. You have a good coin. Okay. Let's just see if I can get anything tactical on the 90-minute chart. So you have a 13 bottom and a 9 bottom. You have stability. That's good. Okay. If Jasmy reversed tomorrow, you would have an excellent tactical DeMark point. However, again, 9 bottom followed by a failed rally, 3,200 could be a tactical point if everything gets wasted. Okay. Right. Wrong again. Zcash. Dang. Can you believe they gave you a chance to buy it down there? God. Why is everyone giving up on that? Okay. NAKA. Okay. I'm not showing that here. Is that okay? I'm going to Dex Tools. Hopefully this is right. Okay, so in any of these coins, right? What you're going to notice is anything I have to go to Dex Tool. Big Rich finally got the live stream on time. Welcome, sir. Always happy to have you. Always happy to have the regulars. Always happy to have new people. I am grateful for you all. Without you, there is no show. Anytime you get these rectangular consolidations in these small coins, I view that as constructive. Fortunately, what they do is they usually stop everybody out pretty horribly at the bottom end of the range. Okay, hopefully I've got the right symbol there. Let me go back. Let me go back to trading view. Okay, there it is, Qcoin. Okay, let's see what I did. Did I get it right? Okay, yeah, I think I got it right. All right, these, if you get square in small caps, I just call this the PEPE consolidation, right? Okay. It's, you know, Faden TradeFi is saying it has 25 million market cap. I'm not sure if he's talking about this chart. Oh, render, right. I forgot about render. So let's do render. And here comes render. Okay, so on a 90-minute chart, you get the 9 bottom, but you get the failed rally. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's holding. That's good. Okay, render has a 13 bottom, but they're below the puke out point, right? Render's got to be above $1.40. Okay, so here's the good news in render. There's a lot of support at $1.08. With the way this weekly DeMark work looks, if you get a 9 bottom and then the trend starts, like you get 2 crappy weeks and then it reverses, that's giga bullish. So in render, you're actually hoping for downside action and then a reversal, which basically is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you're talking about 3 to 10 crappy days and then boom, higher, right? So I'm not gonna give up. I think $1.08 holds in render. That would be my opinion, unless you have a complete calamity in legacy. Speaking of legacy, let's just check where all that is. S&P futures are still up. Everybody's buying technology stocks, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum are okay. You know, it's all right. Like 3 days from now, I'm hoping it's over. Okay. Okay. Baby Whale does not want to see Solana below 20. Okay. So let's pull up Solana. Now, if Solana was below 20, again, it's a stop fishing exercise, right? You have a 13 bottom on the 4-hour chart. This is trying to come back. It's not perfect, right? And you probably got 2 more down days in Solana, and everyone knows it, right? When you hang out like that, just below resistance, unless it falls out of bed, right? Or they got to run the stops at 20. You know, it's just that kind of market where it's just stop hunt. And BlackRock and all these guys, they're all down there waiting for it. All down there waiting for it. Okay, somebody asked about DXY. We do have to talk about DXY. Okay, so I think I need to at least chill on my like militant dollar bearishness for no reason other than the fact that the reason the dollar is higher is because everybody's afraid of the China nuke, right? Everyone's afraid of the China nuke. Now, the dollar should be materially lower, but the China nuke has to resolve itself. That's why it's up. I'm not saying it's going to go higher. It shouldn't be higher. It has no business being here, in my opinion, right? Because whatever happens with the Chinese banks, it's going to happen to our banks. And I don't know if the Fed, okay, is in a position to print. Silas is asking, what's the best altcoin besides ETH, Solana, or Cardano? Okay. And he means the serious ones. Okay. Well, believe it or not, if you want to go outside the box, let me go through. You're not seeing the PowerPoint. Okay. So our dark horses are Litecoin, right? Cosmos and Zcash. Right. I'm doing like value investing in altcoins. I think if you want to take a shot, you could also do NEAR because that just seems so destroyed to me. Okay. Silas wants to short the bricks. That is funny, right? They're all going to replace the dollar. And if you have something happen off the eclipse, they all may realize why the dollar is important. They're definitely going to realize why gold and silver are important. Wrong again, talking Polkadot, I agree. I agree with this whole interoperability theme. Speaking of which, we just have to check it out because I saw the big short sellers on Twitter after my favorite box of chocolates ruined because they ran it up. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? Don't buy on green. This DeMark works actually not that bad on a excuse me. Okay. On a 4-hour chart, it doesn't look as bad as it seems. Right. But it is reacting to DeMark work. 90-minute chart. You got the 13 top comes down. You got the 9 bottom. When you got 9 bottoms, like this is how you want to see your coin trade, even if they wind up killing this. You want to see a 9 bottom actually be a 9 bottom. And Baby Whale says Cardano has been at the same price for years. Cardano's got to figure out how to compete. So that's how Toby would put it. Okay. So the Carnage and Avalanche did actually not make the cut when we were looking at, you know, some of the coins we gave you for, you know, a model portfolio, which will be behind a paywall eventually, Patreon and Discord. But look at this Avalanche, man. You got the 9 bottom, you know, and then you got a warning signal of a big move. That's what that means with that DeMark stochastic, right? Like, you know, look at this warning signal from up here, here and here. Come on. Now, this looks horrible. You know what, folks? Just a reminder. It never trades good at a bottom and it never trades bad at a top. Never. So they may wind up killing this. They may wind up killing it. Okay. Silas said near with an N for November. Okay. This failed rally is not good, but I'm kind of counting on this looking not good for 3 days. Okay. Big Rich says Avalanche is losing developers. Okay. You can clearly see a give up trade like happening here, which is a shame because they have a security token functionality. But who knows if that moves over to say Algorand, which is just totally destroyed, right? Okay, I got to go to Trading View for Caspa. Okay, so Caspa up on the day. All right, so the top in Caspa should have been 0.055, but they pulled up short of that, right? So if Caspa actually gets above 43 cents, they actually have a shot at getting back up to 0.055 cents. Actually, this assumes that you have a crypto bottom in the next 3 days. So crypto is getting hit right now, but clearly after what we saw earlier, it could be worse, particularly since, like I said, you know, Capital One, Discover, where's Goldman? Okay, these things are off their lows, but they are still getting hit. 2 or 3 days more of this is what I'm thinking. Okay, is what I'm thinking. Big Rich says render is going to 20. If it's going to 20, then there's not that much of a difference between where it is now and $1.08. However, if the crypto market does break down, don't get dogmatic. I'm not talking about render. I'm just talking in general. Okay, let's sum it up. Possible crypto bottom in the next 3 or 4 days. Possible heave lower to conclude the move. Legacy doesn't look great to me. Beware of failed rallies and failed upticks in legacy and crypto. Long Bitcoin, short the banks. I'm sticking with that. We'll see you on Thursday.